Hello, everyone. This is Dream Books Films, bringing all aspiring writers, authors, an exclusive mentor program, boutique creative know how consulting team at your disposal. Come figure out the secrets of how to turn the story in your head into a book or a film or web series that will bring you rewards, recognition, happiness, and of course, money. Countless people today are celebrated authors and have their books turned into films and into OTT content with not even half as much as talent as you might have. You've always dreamt to be there but have never quite brought yourself up to it. Now is the time. If you are a dreamer, have concepts, ideas, stories, half written, fully written, and would like to make it into a book or into a film or into web series, which you have been watching consistently now on most of the OTT platforms, then you are at the right place to get mentored on this journey. Today, I bring you from Dreams Books and Films a very special guest of ours and our chief mentor and advisor, the award winning filmmaker, Mr. Brahmanand Singh. And before I hand over the stage to and the platform to him, we have two burning questions. And thank you for all those questions. We are going to ask him some of those niggling questions that have been coming to our mind and plaguing us. Um, when we are on this journey, we are going to have this chief mentor always with us, guiding us, telling us what is not the right thing to do and how to do this. It could be in a one on one, face to face, or it could be something where we are going to talk to him on stage directly or in a session, and that's for us to choose. Now, let me, without much ado, talk a little about his achievements and whom we are seeking to seek advice today from. He is Rex Karmavir Chakraborty and a National Award winning producer, filmmaker, author, and speaker. Mr. Brahmanand Singh is a veteran in the film industry. He is known for his expertise, and that's why he is on Dreams Books and Films. He is known for his expertise in ideation capacity in developing projects and exploring tie ups, license, funding, impact, festivals, markets, business opportunities. Wearing so many different hats like that of an entrepreneur, a filmmaker, writer, mentor, he helms countless projects from start to finish and has known the nitty gritties of all of this that we are all on this journey to learn from. Known for making award winning feature films and feature documentaries on subjects like R.D. Burman, Jagjit Singh, on human trafficking and child labor, backpacking, traveling, educational excellence, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and many others. He is a much sought after consultant on many creative projects. He is the CEO of Mobius Films and Mobius Biopics Private Limited. Today, we are honored and privileged to be able to pose all of those questions. Today, just two, as we will do many rounds with him and have his mentorship as a snippet to understand what can we expect from this face-to-face workshop and program that we will be bringing to you under the banner of Dream Books and Films. Without much ado, I'm going to bring him on stage and welcome him here. Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Very, very well. Candy, how are you?
So, Dreams Books and Films is very happy to have you. You have been on the screen actually while we were going through this, and I was introducing you. So, I'm happy to have you to be able to pose some of the questions. Today is just a quick one with two questions I'm going to pose, which keep on coming all the time from people who are asking us, inquiring about this program. What is this all about? Right. So, let's get into that. So, the first question, Mr. Singh, for you is, as the chief mentor on Dream Books and Films, could you throw some light on what is the potential of a story, just a scratch, a story or a book, or just an idea that we have that and we want to take to the OTT platform? And is it a long drawn process?
So, I would feel that um, it's a question which has many other questions inside it. And I feel that, uh, it all depends on the quality of idea, quality of story, and therein lies the potential. So, Like I come across a large number of people who write almost compulsively, and I come across another set of people who know how to write, and come across another set of people who know how to write and then how to make use of it in terms of either publishing a book or uh, taking it out to the studios, the films. Guldar Sahab used to say a very interesting thing long time back, that when I write my literary stuff and when I write a poem, I get paid 200 rupees or 400 rupees in those days. But the same thing when I write a song, I get paid 20,000 or 2 lakhs. So there is that element always there if you break into becoming one of the best. Okay, there are kinds and kinds of writers, and I think that a best writer can get a lot of money. Average writers can get some money, and if you have not really mastered the craft, the art, the quality of ideation, the necessary jugglery needed to uh, be critical about your own work and improve it and improve it across drafts, then chances of you being in the mainstream is very little, because mostly those that I'm talking about are full of cliches and extremely pedestrian ideas, something that has been beaten to death 200 times, 2,000 times, 20,000 times. So, very frankly, nobody really cares about them. At the same time, if you realize there are only a certain number of kind of stories that you can write, I mean, they're not too many. But what matters is what is the experience, understanding of life that you bring to that story, to that craft. So I always say that your art is the sum total of the experiences and insights and ideation that you bring into your craft. So you may have five different writers writing on the same theme, five different filmmakers making a film on the same idea, same thing, but they will all make differently. So I feel that one of the reasons why certain writers get lapped up by the publications, by the film fraternity, the OTT fraternity, is because of the quality of their ideas and the manner in which they work hard towards chiseling those ideas. And they know that having written is not enough. Having excelled in that across drafts, fine tuning it. Like I would say, for example, in novel writing, Jeffrey Archer recently was talking about it. Now he's 80 and he's a bestseller writer. Okay, he's a veteran writer, and yet he gets up at 5:30. He writes from 6 to 8. He takes a break 8 to 10, wherein it's his breakfast time and it's his newspaper time. Then from 10 to 12 he writes again. 12 to 2 he takes a break again. Based in London, he goes out for a little walk because it's always cloudy and damp and things like that. And then he has his lunch, he takes his nap, he does everything that we all do. From 2 to 4 he again works. 4 to 5 he takes a little break, tea break and things like that. And then 5 to 7 he writes again, and then he ends his day. Now he does that, and he says that by in about 50 days I managed to finish writing my novel.
Wow.
He says, then I take a month's break. Then I take a month's break in which I don't write. And I go to watch cricket, I go to the theaters, I go to parties. But I have that story at the back of my mind. And every new person that I meet and every new character that I come across, I somehow try and, see that will that fit in somewhere in my work and things like that. Well, if they do, I make a note of it, but I still don't write. After a month, I start working on it again. And then he says, 50 days is what I take to write my book, and then 150 days is what I take to polish it. and before it's 12 drafts, 13 drafts, 14 drafts, I don't even show it to my wife or friend. Or now that's the reason that the writing shines, the characters stand out, the plots become compelling, the storyline becomes exciting, and that's what most of us, I would say, don't even think of doing. Forget doing, don't even think of doing. We think that because we have written once and twice and it looks like fine to us, so it should be fine, but that's not how it works. So I think the greatest stumbling block is in the readiness to value your idea and recognize it, work hard towards it, turn it into a compelling book or a series or a film. And then comes the other part, which is to reach out and connect and create a pitch deck or something or the other, which makes the other person, which communicates your idea to the other person in terms of not just the storyline, but also its significance, its compellingness, how it happened, how personal it is to you, why it should be made, what will the world lose if it's not made. And I think therein lies the secret. Those who know it, there's a whole world, a big world of fame, wealth, recognition, happiness, fulfillment lying there. And those who don't know should be open to learning and developing the craft, or collaborating with someone who knows the same thing and get it written if they have ideas and not the craft. And the third who does not recognize either of these two, then it's a long battle, really. So depends entirely on the quality of your ideas, the quality of hard work that you're wanting to put, and the reference points that you have of the best. If your reference points are high, chances are that you will do very well. If your reference points are, the rejected films, or you are one of those who keep complaining that no, but Netflix, Amazon, they have such average stuff, mine is better. Don't judge what is there. Just concentrate on your work. That's how I would like people to approach.
Okay. Great. So it does sound that it is an arduous, long drawn process. Would you say that when you are going to mentor our people in DreamsBooksFilms, it will be a long drawn process to reach
Well,
the ultimate goal of,
yeah, it
yeah?
is long drawn process, just like anything which needs quality and excellence. It depends. If you're writing a 600-page book, well, it'll take you a year. If you're writing a 20-page short story, it'll take you a month and a half. Okay. So if you're writing, well, you may be able to write it in 3 days, but you may need to rewrite and rewrite it. I mean, I, I've come across very, very few geniuses who write first draft and it's a masterpiece. It never happens like that. Most of us and most of the best known names that you have heard across time, they have been very, very hard and intelligent workers. So by that I mean that they're able to see the flaws, they're able to see the pitfalls, they're able to see the mess up, and which is why they write, rewrite, write, rewrite. So it's a long drawn process in that sense, but not exactly long drawn. I would say it's more clinical and more disciplinary once you understand the whole journey game. You know that, okay, like for example, I can easily work out, you know irrespective of the inspiration that will hit you one morning and on 3 mornings it won't. Normally it doesn't happen like that, like, well, there are inspiration, there are gut, there are intuition, but you have to live with an idea 24/7. And then when you are sitting down to write, you have to sit down to write, and then only you'll actually translate it into something which is palpable. Otherwise, a lot of people say, oh, I have it in my head, but then there's no cable yet discovered where you can plug it into the head and see it in the monitor what's there. The only thing that exists is the paper in front of you, and the paper then gets translated into a film or a series or a television thing or a play or an opera or something, you know.
Right, right. No, no. So it is a discipline, and that's the key word I think you used. And it is a disciplined process to make it market ready, so an OTT or a platform can even look at you or even peruse your project or review it. So what would be? I mean, while we know there could be a 99 reasons, what would those two reasons be that one script or just an idea or a concept does not stand the chance of being taken in front? Would you be able to tell this to a participant or a program who's taking a coaching or a mentoring from you?
Yeah, so I think the first reason that comes to mind is a very ordinary idea which the writer thinks is great. Okay, if the writer is hell bent on cliches and is hell bent on pedestrian ideas, then mostly they think that it's great, but others don't think. And the entire game is what others feel, whether right or wrong. Most often they are right. In the case of that 0.1%, where someone is a genius and they don't get recognized, that's 0.1%. Mostly, if the writing is good, it gets received well, it gets responded to well. Well, there are a lot of occasions when bad writings also find their way. That is a separate topic altogether, because there are many people who are smarter in positioning and marketing themselves. There are a thing or two to learn from them and maybe, get into the limelight. I know of a novelist, a very well known novelist, who wrote his first book from, a very not very hyped publication, and they discussed that, well, they will publish 5,000 prints, and he went and spoke to the shops that I'm going to buy them. The book was at 200. So he invested a lot of money in trying to position himself, and he went and bought all his books and many times. And the publication thought that, well, the book is in a lot of demand, so they printed again. And this happened a few times, and the buzzword started, spreading. And then he has gone on to become a very, very well-known writer today, who's getting crores and crores of rupees as advance to write a book or a series of books. So these things always happen, but I think that by and large, 60-70% of success comes from quality and discipline and an ability not to complain, but to look for ways in which you can navigate a system. I think that is very important. A lot of people complain a lot and then they just give up. But that's not what works, because it's a difficult world that we live in. It's a very, very complicated web, and you need to really navigate all of them with a beautiful smile on your face and you know amused thoughts, but not really misgivings for people who are part of the value chain or the unvalue chain, and find your way out. So it's long drawn in that
Okay.
sense. It needs a smart approach. It needs a sensible approach. It needs an approach where you need to work hard and work smart, and everything from idea to craft to positioning yourself to your ability to handle people, your ability to handle rejections, your ability to handle disappointments. I think all these things combine to the eventual success.
Okay. So that was one. My 99 reasons why we can get selected is what you will walk everyone through in the workshop in the program, and we were
Mhm.
trying to understand that one single reason is, of course, humility, and you're not thinking your story is great, but listening to rejections, and that can happen. I think, and that will be the cornerstone of making making the journey along with making it market ready is what we understand. So those were the key burning questions that had come to us, Brahmanji, and so we enjoyed this session. We will have more of these 10 minutes, 15 minutes snippets, because these are an insightful, series of videos to help people understand what they're going to get from Dream Books and Films. Very much appreciate your time, and I do hope this recording has come out clear sometimes. And pardon me, all who are watching, if the Wi-Fi signal is a little low, but I think your time and your insights are very valuable to us. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Brahmanand ji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I wish all the best to every participant.
Thank you. And that was the end of Dreambooks Films. We will come back with more videos. Watch us here as we go live. Thank you so much, folks. Bye bye. Take care.